Unit 1 Meristematic and Permanent Tissues. Module name Simple Tissue Sclerenchyma. Module number 05. Myself, Ms. Triveni Tari, MSc, Assistant Professor in PSS RSN College of Arts and Science, Farmagudi, Ponda, Goa. Learning outcomes. Student will be able to describe sclerenchyma tissue, cite examples of the sclerenchyma tissue, recognize its characteristics, analyze the functions and types of sclerenchyma tissue. Outline, characteristics of sclerenchyma tissue, types of sclerenchyma tissue, functions of the sclerenchyma tissue. Now we have already seen in module number 3, simple tissues are subdivided into parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma based on their cell wall thickness. We have the parenchyma, which is not showing you any of the thickenings on their cell wall. We have the collenchyma that is showing you uneven thickenings on their cell wall, and we have the sclerenchyma that is showing the even thickenings on their cell wall. And the sclerenchyma tissue we are going to study in detail in this particular module. The sclerenchyma word is derived from Greek word skleros, means hard. The characteristics include the cells will be showing you thick walls and they are lignified, meaning they will be showing you the deposition of lignin. They will not be showing you any presence of living protoplast at the maturity. Neither they will be showing you the nucleus. The cells will be showing you the variation in the form of structure, origin and their development. Based on that, we have the two types of sclerenchymatous cells. The first one is fiber and the second one is the sclerid. Fibers will be appearing elongate and with the pointed ends. Sclerids will be broad and they will be non-prosenchymatous, meaning they do not have the pointed ends. Now in these pictures, you can see the actual fibers and the sclerid, how they appear in the transverse section. These are the fibers which are thickened and they will be staining very deeply when you stain them with the safranin because they have the presence of lignin in them. And here also they have the lignified walls and that's why they are staining dark with the safranin stain. Those are the sclerids. Now the first one is the fiber, that is one of the sclerenchymatous cell. It will be appearing elongated with the tapering ends. Now this will be showing you the presence of lignin deposition along the walls. Now they will be showing you the narrow lumen. This is the narrow lumen that will be going on thinning because of the deposition of the lignin. Now we have something called as pits, which are the unthickened areas of the cell wall. Then the middle lamella, here you can see that is very conspicuous in case of fibers. Now the fibers are subdivided into intraxillary fibers and extraxillary fibers based on their position. Intraxillary fibers, which are also referred to as xylary fibers, are present within the xylem tissue. We have the extraxillary fibers which are present outside the xylem tissue. First we will see in detail about the intraxillary fibers. These are also referred to as wood fibers. Now they are divided further based on the relative thickness of their wall and type of the pits that they show. We have the first one that is referred to as libriform fiber, which will be showing you thick thickenings and they will be showing you simple pit. Fiber trachea is the second one, which will be comparatively less thickened and will be showing you the presence of bordered pits. Now further, in few of the dicots, you will come across the gelatinous or mucilaginous fibers that are having the capacity of absorption of water. Now we have the next one, that is the extraxillary fibers, which are present outside the xylem, meaning they will be present in the cortex, in the pericycle and the outer tissues. They are also referred to as bast fibers because they are mainly present within the phloem tissue. Issa, one of the anatomists, have recognized three categories of these extraxillary fibers. We have the first one that is called as the cortical fiber, which is mainly present in the cortex region. We have the second one that is called as the perivascular fiber that is present just outside the vascular cambium. We have the fibers which are classified into intraxillary fibers and the extraxillary fibers. The intraxillary fibers, also referred to as the xylary fibers, are present within the xylem tissue. They are also referred to as wood fibers because they are concerned with the xylem. These are further divided based on relative thickness on the cell wall and type of pits that they show. We have the first one that is referred to as libriform fiber that will be showing you heavy thickenings and they will be having the simple pits. We have the second one that is the fiber trachea that will be showing you comparatively less thickenings and they will be showing you the presence of the bordered pits. And we have the last type of fiber that is the gelatinous or mucilaginous fiber that is present in certain dicots which have the capacity of absorption of water. Now coming to the second type, extraxillary fibers. These are also referred to as bast fibers because they are concerned with the phloem. Aesop, one of the anatomists, have recognized three categories of these extraxillary fibers based on where exactly they are present. We have the first one that is the cortical fiber that is present in the cortex region. We have the second one that is referred to as perivascular fiber, meaning these fibers will be present surrounding the vascular bundle. And we have the third one that is referred to as the phloic fiber, also referred to as phloem fiber, that is present within the phloem tissue. Now the function of these fibers includes providing mechanical strength and they are also helping in conduction of water. Economically, they are useful for production of the commercial fibers. We have the various plants, Quercus capsularis, Cannabis sativa, agave species, which are highly used for the production of this commercial fiber. In this particular picture, you can see the raw fibers which are derived from the plants. Now, we have the second type of sclerenchymatous cell which is referred to as the sclerid, also referred to as the sclerotic cell. Now, here it will be very broad, unlike that of the fiber which is showing you the pointed ends. Here it is non-prosenchymatous, that means they do not show any presence of the pointed ends. Similarly, they are going to show you the presence of the secondary walls which are typically lignified and they are going to vary in their thickness. The lumina, here you can see that is very narrow due to the deposition of lignin around it. Then they will show you the presence of pits which are simple and rarely they are going to show you the bordered pits. Now based on their shapes, these sclerids are of various types. We have the first one that is the brachiosclerid that will be showing you the presence of round or polygonal shape which is mainly present in pulp of fruits. We have the second type that is called as the macrosclerids which is present as the columnar cell. You can see over here and it is mainly present in case of legume seed coats. We have the third type that is referred to as osteosclerids which will be barrel shaped or bone shaped with the dilated ends. These are mainly found in the xerophytic leaves. We have the next type that is the astrosclerid, meaning they will be stellate or star shaped, which are very common in hydrophytic leaves and the stems. And we have the last type that is called as the trichosclerid, which is having the irregular unbranched structure and they may be present as internal hairs in case of hydrophytes, leaves and the stem. The functions of these sclerids will be providing firmness and stiffness and mechanical strength wherever they are present. They are also helping the internal parts where they are present by offering them the hard texture. Like for example, in case of the fruits and the seeds, the internal parts will be protected. These are few of the references in the form of books and the websites that you can use for your further reading. Thank you.